And Mrs. Clinton taking a swipe at Republicans on the campaign trail, attacking her GOP rivals for their focus on her instead of the issue, she says. Take a look.
It is, I think, worth noting that the Republicans seem to be talking only about me. I don't know what they'd talk about if I weren't in the race.
What would they talk about? Marjorie Clifton is a former consultant to the Obama campaign and a principal at Clifton Consulting. Larry O'Connor, morning radio host in Washington and editor-at-large for IJReview.com. Welcome to both of you. Larry, let me start with you. What do you think about Hillary? You know, she had to say something. She had to address it in some way at this point because they were going to keep hammering at her. How do you think she did?
Well, here's the irony of Mrs. Clinton's statement. She's actually the only one who's talking about herself right now. If you go to her website right now at hillaryclinton.com or whatever she picked up, all you'll see is requests for money, volunteers, and then her bio. And that's it. There's nothing on her own website about the issues. If you go to her rivals, they're all talking about issues. She's not even talking about the issues. She's going to pre-programmed audio animatronic events where there are hand-selected people who talk to her. She gives them a royal audience, and she says, mm-hmm. So this kind of, well-crafted response is not going to fly very much longer if, in fact, she deigns to talk to reporters in the future.
Yeah. How much of this, Marjorie, is going to hurt her? What do you think? How much does it stick?
Well, I mean, look, she is the only candidate really that there is to focus on at this time, so it's not a surprise that they are doing that. But you also look at contrast to the Republican Party, where there are many, many more candidates. There isn't a clear front runner, so issues are really the only thing they have to run on. So I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it was politically savvy to say, let's focus on the issues. It's not something we haven't heard before by Republicans or Democrats. But you're right. She will have to start taking her platform. I mean, we do have a lot more history with Hillary Clinton, however, so we do
Marjorie,
know what a lot of her platforms are.
I'm sorry if I wasn't clear, but the point of my question is, do you think this is a problem for her? Are you, we all look at this and you read it and you say, is it or is it not something that the American people are going to say, I'm not good with that?
Oh, well, she's going to have she's got 19 months to go of all she's going to be doing is talking about issues. She's going to have a platform in all the debates. And, she's already trying to position herself as a person of the middle class, sort of deassociate herself with big banks.
Yeah, but what about all the millions of dollars the foundation took while she was Secretary of State?
How do you complain about CEOs and income inequality, Larry, and how unfair everything is and how the top 1% needs to be toppled when you've got $100 to $200 million and people are questioning where the funds came from and whether or not it influenced your work at the State Department?
Yep. Not only that, Martha, but it seems like she made her millions because she was in government. All that money appears to have come in as a quid pro quo or an unstated quid pro quo because she was Secretary of State. And when she left that position, the money dried up. That's a major allegation that she must respond to. Here's the problem, though. We would love to be able to see that that wasn't the case and that there was no quid pro quo, but her hard drive with all of her emails backing that up has been wiped clean.
Yeah, good point.
But
go ahead, real quick, and then we got to move on to the next topic. Go ahead, Marjorie.
Well, I would say that most of the candidates we are looking at are also millionaires, and the Clinton Foundation is a foundation. It's something that channels money to nonprofits. Actually, it is. It's again very different. It's different kinds of doing business, which in her case was going to foundations. It was going to nonprofits. I don't think
Scott Walker's a millionaire. I would challenge you on that.
We'll have to check on that. We'll check on that.
Let's talk about the Republican field because it's very crowded. I'm trying to figure out how you're going to get all these people on one debate stage. So it's highly likely that some of them will be dropping out. So if you were to say, in your opinion, of course, who you think is sort of crowding the field and maybe should go, Marjorie, let's start with you. You probably think they all should go. No, I think it's good. This is democracy. You want two candidates to work against. But I think the reality is there are a number of candidates, for example, Scott Walker, who is right now getting a lot of momentum and energy, but he's got a history that's going to be hard to work around. Marco Rubio, I see he's running for vice president. He is a lot of the same candidate as Jeb Bush, brings a lot of the great things, his position on immigration, for example, the Latino vote in Florida, which Bush has already got locked up, and he has a little bit more of the history. Cruz, it's going to be interesting to see, whether he's able, that Tea Party energy is going to be enough to bring him to the primary. So You know, Rick Perry.
But those guys are
from
all
pure
people that
entertainment
I don't think are
factor,
going
I want him
anywhere.
there.
Yeah. So Larry, let's try it
That's
again.
true.
The question is, you know, who do you think is sort of the low-hanging fruit who may sort of
Right.
say, not really my turn this time?
Yeah, I love reality television. This is like the opening weeks of Survivor, and you start voting people off the island. Here's the thing. I love Bobby Jindal, but I'm worried that he's going to suffer from what I call the Rick Perry effect. And that is, Rick Perry is, on paper, is a great candidate. He's got a great track record. He's the only candidate with military experience, but he's barely showing up right now, and it's because he had a really bad showing last time. I want Bobby Jindal to have a future in this party. Right now, he is not making a dent, and unfortunately, for his sake and for his future, I think he should back out right now and say, this is not my time.
All right. Who else?
You know, along those
Trump?
same lines, Ben Carson. I love Ben Carson's voice, but he's not really going to make an impact here. And frankly, Mike Huckabee and Rick Santorum, they had their opportunities. They weren't able to get it when they had, frankly, a weaker field to run against.
All right.
I think they're valuable voices, but they shouldn't be on that
One more.
triple deck stage for the debate that we're going to have to construct.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be like, you know,
yeah.
what was it called with all the different X's and O's? Marjorie.
Oh, yeah, like Hollywood
American
Square.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Hollywood Squares. We're
And
talking about
Lindsey Graham will be in the center square. It'll be great.
Marjorie,
Yeah.
give me 3 that you think should, you know, probably aren't going to make it.
Well, I don't think Rick Perry's got a prayer. I don't think Donald Trump, if he makes it. But those are my favorite entertainment factors. I want them there just because it's fun.
So do I. Yeah.
I'm able to make it an American Idol stage, but I think those two, right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Again, I agree with him on Bobby Jindal. I think
could do it
great
that
guy,
way.
but probably not the time.
The
Yeah,
American
why
people
not?
could
Make it
vote, and we
fun.
could all phone in, and they could say, "Yep,
That's
sorry,
right.
you're going home."
We can all agree that Joe Biden definitely has to get in on the Democrat side. Talk about entertainment value. Can we agree on that?
I do. I agree.
Think of all the pacifiers out there. Thank you, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Martha. Well,
right.